Menace going in the back line. Again, part of why Aura has been so successful going for those neutral objectives is the amount of attention that has to be the amount of attention that the EXP lane and the roamer can take away from the rest of the team. And we saw that the Yuzong and the Cho were the main tools that were used in game number 1. So now EVOS has a say in what they really don't want to see in the Land of Dawn. And I do wonder if the Cho will require a ban, but I guess not.
The Luo Yi is the choice here for EVOS in the drafting phase for game number 2, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. And now Aura are put in quite a pickle. The Angela is still open. The Matilda is... Natan's banned out. X-Borg. It really depends here because I don't think they want to ban out the X-Borg just in case EVOS want to try and barter it and pick it up for themselves for the first phase. And then Aura can try and counter that with an X-Borg in the first 2 picks that they pick up. But we'll see. So there you go. The Angela gets taken away. But now the Matilda. I don't think EVOS want to let both the Barats and the Matilda go here.
It'll definitely be too expensive. They do. They should take one. I think Matilda does better as an individual pick to enable all the others compared to the Barats, but knowing EVOS, they might just pick it up themselves.
Depends how they really want to play this out. Do they want to have that strong jungler or that flex potential to the EXP lane? Turns out, no, it's going to be the Matilda, the more versatile pick out of the two. Now for Aura, they can go for that Barats if they really want to. And they have a whole lot of options right here.
If they want, they can go Barats X-Borg. If they don't want to leave it open for EVOS to pick up, it is an option. I don't really like utilizing the second pick for the X-Borg. But what do you think?
I think here it's... Yeah, I don't think they want to pick it up this early, you know? It really depends on the pick. They also, I think Aura can take it away, by the way, right? They can certainly take it away, but yeah, they're kind of forced to pick Barats here. So they can just pick Barats and deny the X-Borg pick instantly, but they could just go the other way, right? Fredrin won against the Barats last game, even though the Barats wasn't in the jungle, so Fredrin and Valentina leaving a very disgusting combo open for EVOS. Now the Barats Matilda can just be the complete package now for EVOS. Then they can just pick up a carrier, a Claude, and then force Aura to respond with an MM or get banned down in the second phase.
Interesting decision there. I guess they were thinking that, like in game number 1, they do want to have a jungler that's just a bit more mobile. And if they go for the Barats without the Matilda, that's a very immobile jungler that might not be in line with what they want. But letting it go, though, in the hands of EVOS might prove to be a bit of a costly factor. And you have to wonder what they have planned to try and balance this out. As Clock now picks up the Vexana away from Yeheskiel as well. It's looking to be a very good team fighting composition from EVOS, having a solid front line and a great amount of crowd control if they want to really go and look for some kind of combo.
This is tough because you'd want to pick up X-Borg here, but you also want to secure Kabuki's hero. You don't want it to get banned out by EVOS in the second phase, so pick your poison. I think I would go for an MM here, Claude or Carry.
Knowing how crucial that has been for Aura, I would say the same thing, but the export value in this, like, against this Barats, it might be... No, they go for the Claude. They go for the Claude, so it is an MM. They have learned from their mistakes. Up against Pikachon Alpha, they did not pick their MM in the first phase, and what happened? Yeah, did not look too good for Kabuki, and now with the Claude, they can let go a sigh of relief. All right, we got his hero. Now we can try to fill in the rest.
This is a great play from Aura, though, hiding their roaming hero until later on. It's not the worst of situations. And immediately Aura will start to target some of those gold laners away from the hands of Brand. For EVOS, they're really respecting this Florian pick. It doesn't really seem like a hero that would be signature in the hands of Yaoi. But I guess considering how the fights have been playing out, it's going to be a bit too costly to let go.
What do they know that we don't? Annabelle. In MPL, I learned a lot about jungling to improve even more. Hopefully, EVOS can make it to the playoffs with his signature pose.
Yeah.
Small.
It's more like, this is I actually don't know.
This is how good you are.
This is how good you are.
Oh.
It's a tiny amount, insignificant.
It depends.
Oh,
Could be.
average.
It's subjective.
It's objective.
Okay.
Export.
Ooh. And the carry. All right, now they want to play that game. They're like, Brands, we don't think you can play a lot of heroes. Or, now we just hate the Moskov and carry for the quad. So pick another hero, brother, man.
And for EVOS, they ban away the X-Borg. He's a great EXP lane, especially against the Barat. So now I think the EVOS are just trying to even out the amount of damage that they can kind of mitigate when it comes to those setups, because that's where Aura usually wants to have a lot of control. And for now, at least, with the Valentina, they can match the Eternal Guard impact that we saw in game number 1. So Yehezkiel can still do more or less the same kind of thing. Even the Terrifies, even though it doesn't really last as long as the Vexanas.
I'm still like tunnel visioning on this Florin ban. Why is it banned out? Because for me, the bloom creates so much issues when you're an assassin, because it causes miscalculations if you want to go for pickoff. Are they hinting that they want to set up for an assassin?
Maybe, or maybe they just know something we don't. Maybe in scrims, Yaoi has been popping off on the Florin, kicking people with the Florin. You never know, you know?
Kicking people with the Florin.
Yeah, it's like a Cho, but with a Florin skin on.
When did this update roll out? Wasn't aware that was possible. For EVOS though, they take away the CC that can be used to shred down the Barats and the Bruno, so no assassin for now.
Bruno in the CC. Last pick, is Arla going to be flexed into Rome, or are they going to pick a Cho again? This time against Matilda, it's a bit tougher, I think, to pull off the Cho.
With the limited amount of burst damage, Grok. Oh, I think the Grok has some value here. EVOS already has a very low amount of real ways to pick off. If they really want to go for a Grok, the only real threat would be a CC, maybe in the Matilda. They can just run him down and chase him down with that continuous damage output.
We want to go for XP, Benedetta, Paquito. The Oran picks we are used to seeing. We saw Kara just earlier play the Paquito against the CC. He was doing pretty well in the lane.
So, drum rolls please. Grok.
Oof. All right. That hints that it's going to be a lot of roam fighting, roam control contesting, especially in the jungle. When there's a Fredrin and the Barats, usually that jungling clear speed becomes something that's hotly contested.
Who has the mid lane prio here?
Between the Valentina
Matilda.
Grok and
Valentina Grok, Matilda, Vexana.
I think it has to be Valentina Grok. The Valentina can shorten the Valentina can shorten the cooldown. She can shorten the cooldown on her spells, you know, with the dashes. And then with the Grok, of course, that's an extra big addition of chunk damage. Whereas for EVOS, the Vexana has good clear, but the Matilda, not too much. So I think Aura will definitely have the mid try.
So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. EVOS looking to force a game number 3 from the Red Dragons. As we jump into the land of Dawn, can Aura go 2-0? Or will we be seeing a game number 3? Welcome to game number 2. Into the land of Dawn we go.
Whoa, hang on. That's a sprint in the hands of Kabuki. He's trying to move fast here. Earlier on the Roger, he went to the Great Dragon Spear. Now with the sprint. Again, the mobility seems to be a massive factor that Aura wants to try and abuse. But looking at the clear speed, Annabelle is doing a lot, is clearing a lot faster compared to Gugun, even though the Concussive Blast has already been selected as his emblem.
I actually really like the sprint here by Kabuki for this game. He needs a bit more of presence in lane, since the battles as well in lane against the Bruno. With the sprint, you get that escapability. And also in these team fights, Claw and Annabelle, these are the two members who have the CC to lock people down. And most of the time, they should be utilizing it to Gugun in these team fights. Gugun will try to take it as well. So, yeah, I like the choice by Kabuki, but it can also be bad if, obviously EVOS actually target him down.
It's also going to be great if Fluffy tries to run him down, right? He can have more ways to get out, but look at this potential dive, the Brands!
Yep. Annabelle as well. That's a sprint. That's a survivability you kind of need there. And he does survive, and he pops a sprint.
Sprinting out of danger right there. In the mid lane, it's somewhat the same. Everyone's just trying to be active around the map. But for Brands, with the weapon mastery, he is banking on some items here to really start his journey to the late game to be that massive power strike.
Okay. One Vengeance reset, two Vengeance resets, and a Flicker, and another Vengeance, the Battle Spell, and the skill.
Again, it's a very interesting matchup in the EXP lane. And I always like to remind you guys that Fluffy used to be in Aura. And Aran simply replaced him in OA. But now, neutral objective contest.
Yeah, we're not level 4 just yet. Pops into Power Nature right in front of Annabelle. Death is welcome. Annabelle rips it out. Gugun miscalculated. Finds Xiaoyi though, the wild charge onto Annabelle. As Gugun backs away. No members lost, just a turtle.
Wow, that was unfortunate for Gugun, man. When you're that good, there's the slightest margin of error means that you don't get it. That's the price of being that precise and that good. But ooh, Blazing Duet.
Oh, Brands, what? He jumps into the turret with a slight tackle. He wanted to stun. He did get the stun, but oh no.
Oh, that's rough for Brands in that gold lane. Seeing as he's on a Bruno who would want to get that power spike a lot earlier than Kabuki on the Claude. But back to that neutral objective contest, Annabelle is 2 levels ahead of Gugun. Now shrunk to 1, but earlier on it was 2. Gugun was level 4. So maybe that is why Annabelle had a little bit more to say, and that's quite peculiar. What's going on with Gugun? Why is he falling behind?
It's just the Barad's clear speed that we've always hyped up, especially, again, even with the Concussive Blast, you can't really match it. You can get kind of close, but you can't really win out. He was able to secure the Litho as well earlier. That plays a factor as well. And Yaoi, he's always been a clear component in Gugun being able to get a lot more space in stunning or maybe crowd controlling the opponent's junglers. So Annabelle there generally can just focus on the retribution because he does have the daytime's welcome, but Yaoi also wasn't level 4.
So the space was lacking here. Brands picks up an item. Will that affect his laning phase? But wait a minute, Annabelle looks for a pick onto Kabuki.
Might be able to get it, not now. Kabuki jumps back in to the battle mirror image. He plays down, and I think for EVOS, they wanted to get some turret gold there. 2 shots by Bruno. Good denying from Aura.
Seems like for EVOS, they're really reluctant to try and go in for a big dive for now. They don't really have the tools to really go for a massive amount of burst damage. And they just worry that they'll overcommit and go in too deep when the turtle is up. So now it's back to the turtle contest. Wall charge.
Wall charge Flicker, and Kabuki just jumps in on the Brands right now. Onto Brands, he goes with the guiding wind as well. The death is welcome, used up by Annabelle. Onto the Fredrin, and that's going to be still Aran with a double kill in the back. And Gugun securing it, a Brazer's Rat. A big bomb down onto Annabelle. Aran with a stun, Aran with a triple. Aran looking for the CC. Resets on the Vengeance. Oh my goodness, it's a wipeout.
In the 5th minute of the game, ladies and gentlemen, that fire has been reignited for Aura. What? Triple kill. Did you see what Arano was able to do in the backside?
Yes.
He was just demolishing the whole backside. With Kabuki, of course, and Yaoi, that was a whole team effort. And you talk about decisive. That's what you can expect to see. When you win, it's one-sided, direct. When you lose, it's also a full-on wipeout at 5 minutes in the game. Now Aura have definitely secured the momentum and the control.
4,000 gold lead now for the Red Dragons. But the White Tigers are still looking for opportunities on the map. How is Brands looking in terms of his items as we get a little peek into their head-to-head actually?
Funny enough, these stats don't really seem too far from each other. Average KDA, Kabuki wins by 0.1. I mean, I guess it still counts. Average DP, gold per minute as well. An extra 10 to 20 for Kabuki. But for the most part, they've always been solid. It's just in the hero pool, but ooh, look at this.
Chain down now, Aran still able to get those resets down. The final splash as well, Aran! Now with the help of Gugun resetting over to Annabelle. How many times will he be knocked up? How many times will he get the vengeance? Holy! Another win, wow charge! And the blazing duet, Kabuki, Aura, everyone is popping up. Fluffy wall down, barrier. You're stuck in here with the dragons.
Aura woke up and chose violence today. What are these performances from all the members today? A run as slippery as can be in a 1v2 situation still survives, buys enough time for Gugun to make it out. In the backline, meanwhile, Yaoi and Kabuki are doing work. Everyone is busy and everyone is finding value. And on top of that, to make things worse for EVOS, he's able to get a turret in the top side, and Gugun is already on the way to claim the next neutral objective.
It's just so tough for EVOS right now. They are on the back foot. They've already tried going for a full-on 5v5. It did not work out in their favor. And then they go for a pickoff, and it was immediately countered. Now I think they just have to try and go for trades and delay the game. It's not ideal, but at least in the late game, there's a chance that if they can weather the initial Blazing Duet, they can maybe zone Kabuki with a shorter range and try and get Brands a bit more active in these fights. Looking at the gold disparity, especially in the EXP and the gold lane, it's massive. But even in the roam position, the fact that Yaoi has been so much more active, getting 6 assists, is giving him 1,000 gold lead over the opposition. And with the Demon Hunter Sword and the Golden Staff completed for Kabuki, it's not a full-on power spike. The Corrosion Scythe will be a nice addition. But for now, at least, if he's left alone, and if, like, Fluffy takes a bunch of basic attacks like we saw earlier under the turret, he can very easily get shredded down.
Dreams has a photo now. Conceal does get kicked out.
Hey. Nobody saw that. He went for Natalia. He went for Natalia.
It's fine. Walk it off. 106. 7.58 gold lead. You mentioned the late game, Arashi. If this gets brought to the late game, what can we expect?
I expect the gold laner still to be the main damage output, but for Aura, they're going to be a bit more front-heavy, as in they're going to be going head first into a lot of these fights. Whereas for EVOS, like we've been saying, it's a bit more flexible, a bit more adaptive, if you can say. Especially with the Matilda, they can try and bait out a lot of spells initially, but against Yaoi, it's going to be a tough order. Trying to make sure that he doesn't, make him question himself when he's trying to go for big engages.
Does he get it? Oh, he doesn't. Annabelle still secures it there. Tried to bait out the Retribution because Lord is spawning, and here it is, Aura with an 8.7k gold lead, 9-0 in 9 minutes, starting the Lord.
And just earlier we saw that the Blade Armor is secured for Gugun, so he wants all that physical defense, but it doesn't matter. No one's going to be coming to try and contest this Lord. That will be Aura. He's getting it.
Gonna go on to Fluffy now, and that's the Eternal Guard. Yaoi also getting the Eternal Guard. It's the Eternal Guard duel now. That's unfair, man. Kabuki, the other Eternal Guard, didn't have any, help from the team. Oh, Dinoman just running, shuffling in that mid lane.
Fancy footwork there from Annabelle on the Barats, but now without the Daytona's welcome, it's gonna be a lot more defensive here, especially with his purple buff coming up. Gugun already trying to capitalize.
He gets it.
Did he get it?
Yeah.
He gets it.
Now EVOS, they're walking on the back foot right now. The Lord is marching in the top lane, but this mid wave is going to crash first. That bottom side should be crashing real soon as well. I think, are they manipulating these waves properly?
Seems
they're trying to build a slow push, crashing it twice.
I think it might come together in the base of being those at about the same time. And if you talk about the clear that EVOS has, Clockman has only just finished the glowing wand, only the second item. So it will help, but it won't be decisive.
Flash up top, already baited out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, also, they're actually going to be able to take it down with no problem. And there's another wave up top. Aura might just be looking to utilize that as Kabuki goes onto the orange buff. And no, they're happy with just the mid lane base turret taken down. It's a 10.5k gold lead in 10 and 15.
Oh, Fluffy!
Yeah, what? Wow, that is a lot of damage. Kabuki fully stacked up with the Golden Staff, Corrosion, and DHS.
And now he also has the Wind of Nature, by the way. So even if Fluffy wants to try and match him out in a duel, I think Kabuki comes out on top now. Means that EVOS, once again, starts losing more options in how they want to approach these fights. And Aura, they're setting up.
Oh my god.
It's been a while, Eterna. How do you feel?
No comment. No comment yet.
No comment yet. She's scared. She's not too sure if this will go the way she expects. We've seen a bit too many comebacks today for anyone to really be too happy.
Right.
But for now, Ente kadang-kadang Ente as well. Thrown out by Yawi with those recalls.
All right, for EVOS though, with the Flash of the Oasis completed, finally, there's gonna be a bit more staying power in these fights, but they have to try and use crowd control here. The fact that Kabuki has no Purify, that has to be something that EVOS need to be looking at, because even if they do have the extra bit of shielding, I think Kabuki is doing way too much damage, already finishing the Windtalker, 6 items, including the boots.
But what about Brands? He already has 2 items on the way to his 3rd. What item are we waiting for here?
Probably the Malefic, maybe, to try and make sure that the frontliners, especially Gugun with like a blade armor, can actually be threatened by the basic attacks coming in. Because otherwise, especially for these very mobile fighters for the side of Aura, they can just keep moving in and out.
Kabuki shredding the Lord.
Yep. That's a full item Claude for you. That's what it does.
Wow, okay, so that's a free Lord for Aura. And so once Brands gets the Malefic, is that a moment where Aura needs to be aware of? Aware of.
Oh, even then.
Do you think it's enough? Oh, there you go, Malefic Roar.
All right, I
I
mean,
don't think it's enough.
he'll have damage, but there's a lot of tankiness still, a lot of HP for the side of Aura.
Annabelle gonna hold down from that Lord. Kabuki up top, just sieging it down as a wave in the bottom lane. It's still very, very slowly building up for Aura. Annabelle gonna be final slash into the midst of it all. Kabuki just treading him down as Annabelle will fall to Aura with Vengeance. Now Aura going in for the Vengeance stacks again, and the Brazer's wrath onto the back as he gets terrified, but a wave in the bottom lane comes crashing down. Kabuki! Blazing to win it! Yeah, skill! Oh my lord! Fluffy now with the Vengeance still able to survive, but Aura is an absolute assassin. Still good peel by Clockun. As now they go for Fluffy, gets bursted down like it's nothing. Kabuki still alive, has the Immortality, now gets bursted down as well. But the Immortality is the only thing that gets popped. Aura fly high once again, they burn. The chances of EVOS to make it to the playoffs with this match.
The Red Dragons, with their wings clipped by the Red Robots, yesterday have come back and found their fire. The fire that was missing, the fire